Alright, so today's pet spotlight will be on Lil Ragnaros. You see, all the pet stores' pets are 50% off right now at the time of making this video. So I went ahead and grabbed the two best ones, Lil Ragnaros and Blossoming Ancient. So I thought it'd be nice to finally make a pet spotlight video on a pet I haven't had in a while. Lil Ragnaros is tier 1. He's also has the distinction of being the pet with the highest attack power value in the game, at 374. So he hits really damn hard. Actually, let's see how hard a glass cannon, I forgot his name. His name's Tumbler. I named mine Tumbler. Servant of Demidos. Servant of Demidos is known for being a huge glass cannon because he has like no health, and he just hits really fucking hard at 366. Lil Ragnaros, 374. Pet battling is a little pay to win. Not really. Actually, you know what? One of the best pets in the game you can only buy like on eBay or something. But for Lil Ragnaros, all you have to do is just shell out $10 to Blizzard and you got your very own, or $5 if you buy it at the time of making this video. Now, what does Lil Ragnaros do so well? Well, all of his movesets are legitimate. Like, you could just take out any ones you want and you'll do fine with him. The best one, though, is to go Sulfur Smash, Magma Trap, and Sons of the Flame. That's because Magma Trap is a unique ability that only one other pet has, which is the Curious Wolvar Pup. And it's not even the same ability. They both do different types of damage, but they both do the same thing. In that, you throw out a trap, it lasts for 9 turns. And your opponent has a random chance to trigger this trap. If the trap goes off, they take a little bit more than a basic attack's damage to the face. Actually, no, it is a basic attack damage. It's just Ragnaros hits so hard, it's a lot higher than normal. Damn, he almost hits for 400 for a basic attack. So yeah, they take a basic attack damage to the face, which is pretty good. And the big thing is they're stunned for a turn. Now, since the Magma Trap triggers off an attack, it will interrupt them for that turn that it goes off and carry over to the next turn. So your opponent loses out on 2 turns of attacking when the Magma Trap goes off while taking damage to the face, while you set out your attacks. But since you have to use a turn to set up the trap, you basically just get 1 free attack out of it, which is still really nice. It's just it has a random chance to go off, so it can last the full 9 turns without going off, and then just go off at the end of that turn. That's worst case scenario, but I've seen it happen multiple times. You can, however, force the activation of the trap with a object breaking ability like Magma Wave, which he has a hold of. You use Magma Wave, you can blow up your own trap. It'll stun them for that turn, but since you're blowing it up, it will stun them and the damage will go off. But the cool thing about Magma Trap is the fact that it interrupts their turn because it goes off when they try to attack or use an ability, which is really great about it. I mean, you can force the activation of it, but you really don't need to. The threat of the Magma Trap is really great. Sons of the Flame, it's a unique ability. There are other pets with Sons of the Flame. Well, I mean, I guess they're not called Sons of the Flame, but there's Submerge. I know 2 pets off the top of my head I know have it. There's the Crazy Carrot. No, it's not the Crazy Carrot. It's the other carrot-looking thing. Well, I mean, there's Molten Corgi who has Puppies of the Flame, which is exactly the same thing. And then there's the Terrible Turnip who has Sons of the Root. Sons of the Root, I think there's another one with that. Yeah. There's a couple of other pets who have those abilities, where basically what it does, it has a long cooldown, and what you do is you just go underground for 2 turns. And during those 2 turns, you can't be attacked, but you do deal 98 damage each turn. So you do a little bit of dot damage. If you're able to get up another dot on your opponent while you do it, it's pretty great. If you're able to have like an immolation in the back row, that's pretty great. If you're able to put like a Black Claw or enhanced magic ability, it's really great. But just using Sons of the Flames is just a nice way to, not take damage for 2 turns, or a way to avoid some damage. You can't avoid all damage of Sons of the Flame, because when you're underground, you can still get hit by stuff like Whirlpool or Burrow or Dive. But everything else basically misses you. You also get hit by Earthquake type abilities. And if you set up Magma Trap, they'll hit themselves sometimes. It's great. You don't really have to think too hard about Sons of the Flame. Just use it off cooldown and you'll do fine. Just because Ragnaros hits so hard, your opponent's going to take quite a bit of damage while you take none. And Then for his other ability, Sulfur Smash, it's just a basic attack. It has a chance to hit for as much as a basic attack on the low end, and as high as like a maul on the high end. It's a little bit higher than a maul, actually. A maul without bleeding, that is. So, Sulfur Smash is just a basic attack. It's just, he has such a high attack power value that it hits a lot harder than normal pets. Now, his other movesets, I mean, I already explained Magma Wave. It's not a really good AoE, so you don't really want to take it. But you can legitimately take it and just go to town with it as long as Lil Ragnaros is the first one you use, because he has such a high attack power value that even though it's not a really good AoE, it's good on Ragnaros. And he also has Conflagration and Flamethrower. He's the hardest hitting Conflagration user in the game. If your opponent's burning and you use Conflagrate, they take 800 damage to the face. 800 damage is equivalent to... No, I'm pretty sure that's just the hardest hitting thing in the game. I don't think anything else can actually hit that hard. You know, with just its own ability, without any kind of attack modifiers. I mean, I guess your opponent has to be burning, so I guess that is kind of modifier, but it's a modifier within its own ability. So it's like the hardest hitting thing in the game. That if you just fulfill its conditions, just hits that really hard. I'm trying to think. Maybe Wind Up hits that hard too. Let me take a look at Gear Third. Wind Up for 800 damage. Yeah, Wind Up hits as hard as that too. Alright, because Iron Starlet does have a really high attack power value. He's like the hardest hitting Wind Up user in the game. He hits about as hard as the Conflagrate. Except Wind Up takes 2 turns to wind up. And while with this one, if you set up a burn, they're going to take extra damage. So they're still going to take more damage overall than a Wind Up. If you do the Wind Up combo, though, that's going to be a lot more damage. But that's really easy to avoid. If it goes off, it's going to one-shot anything. Lil Ragnaros, if one of these abilities crits, you'll two-shot it or something. It's still just a godly amount of damage if you go for the Conflagration route, which is totally legitimate, because Flamethrower is a totally legitimate basic attack spammer. It hits as hard as a basic attack up front with Lil Ragnaros. With other pets, it doesn't. It's just Lil Ragnaros hits so hard that his Flamethrower hits for about 300 damage up front, and then puts a dot which burns for about another 100 damage every turn. So his Flamethrower is probably well, all of his abilities are the hardest hitting things of the game. So yeah, Flamethrower is really good on him. So if you take this, you can actually go Magma Wave if you want some kind of AoE potential, because you don't need Sulfur Smash. I probably still would though. Okay, so I think that really explains everything. Magma Trap is a unique ability that's really good. Cures Wolvar Pup would be tier 1 because of Snap Trap itself, if it wasn't for the fact that he's a humanoid, and that's really bad in the meta. Lil Ragnaros is an elemental, which is actually pretty good in the meta because they're really good against mechanical type pets. Mechanical type pets are the second most popular type of pet because it has the second best racial in the game. And MPD is kind of ridiculous. The mechanical Pandaren Dragonling. Where is he at? Here we go. In mechanical Pandaren Dragonling. Plus, Sons of the Flame gets rid of decoy pretty quickly since it does the damage in, series of 2. It used to do it in 3s. Now it does it in 2s. Yeah, so Magma Trap is really good. It's a really good ability. Sons of the Flame is nice. It used to be the only one in the game, but then they added more later on. He can also go for Conflagrate and Flamethrower, and you'd totally be well off on your own with that. Alright, so now let's show an actual match with Lil Ragnaros in action. Alright, so this is going to be a fun matchup. Let's see, Ore Eater kind of counters Lil Ragnaros if I go into Sons of the Flame. If his Stinker comes out, I'm going to have to switch out a Lil Ragnaros, because Stinker is the only one I'm going to have a big problem with. Looks like that's not the case, though, so I'm going to go straight into Magma Trap. Damn it, looks like he went into Decoy. Damn that Decoy. Let's see, usually these guys, they have a potential to not have Decoy. Alright, looks like he went into Stinker. That's fine. That just means I'm going to switch into the Curious Wolvar Pup to set up another trap. I could also go into Death Adder just to wreck his face, but I really want to set up a trap. I also really just want to use Lil Ragnaros. Alright, so let's go into a Snap Trap, and then I'm going to Whirlwind, and then Bite. If he doesn't switch out, of course. Alright, now we've got the Ore Eater. Ore Eater, I know he's going to switch into Shell Armor this turn. So I'm just going to go for Whirlwind. Do some back row damage. And I'm going to prevent Shell Armor stuff with... I guess I could just go into Lil Ragnaros and Submerge. But by the time he does all that shit, I'm going to go into my Death Adder Hatchling to spit in his face. I take less damage from that body slam. And now I'm not going to take any more damage from Shell Armor for the next 2 turns. And the stun went off. How great. Alright, that's fine. Since he can't do anything for a turn, let's set up Magma Trap, and then I'm just going to use Sons of the Flame. Oh, no, actually, I'm just going to hit him in the face. It looks like he took Punch instead of... Oh my god, it went off immediately. That's like one of the times where you don't want it to go off immediately. Usually that's always a really good thing if it goes off right off the bat. Except in this situation where he's already on DRs from stuns. Come on, Lil Ragnaros. Hit him. Hit him really hard. Okay, good job. Killing an Ore Eater. You can backline now. You're totally good to go. I'm actually just going to go into the Curious War Pup because he has a really good advantage against Stinker. Alright, so I'm going to go into a Snap Trap, Whirlwind, and then Bite. If he decides to fight me, which would not be in his best interest, but that's fine. I'm going to go into a Whirlwind right here, do some nice damage. It splits between both of them. Oh, it went off. It's not too good against critters, though, because they can't be stunned. But, I mean, I still have a really nice Bite. I think I should be able to kill it right now. It's not going to do enough damage. He's going to heal up. I'm going to have to hit him 2 more times before killing him. I do have Bite, though, so I should be fine. I still have 2 more alive pets. If I'm able to get off an ability on Lil Ragnaros, I'll be able to do a lot of damage to this guy. He's probably going to go straight for a decoy, though, so I'm just going to Bite twice. Oh, damn it. He can go for a decoy right off the bat. Ooh, that puts me in a predicament. Lil Ragnaros, will he be able to survive a flamethrower if I decide to switch out? Probably not. Because what I want to do is go into Lil Ragnaros and use Sons of the Flames to get rid of decoy. I wouldn't have to deal with it. But it looks like he went for a decoy right off the bat, which is bad news bears for me. Okay, finally the decoy's gone. Now I can just use Whirlwind to hit him for a crap ton of single target damage, and then I'll kick the bucket at the end of this turn. In which case I can just let my Death Adder Hatchling finish him off, because Death Adder is a lot faster, and it looks like Lil Ragnaros is going to be able to survive to the end. So I'm going to go for a Poison Fang right here to kill him, and then throw up the Elemental Dot, and then I'll just go for a Puncture Wound to finish him off. No need to actually use Blinding Poison. I can take damage. It's not going to hurt that bad if I can set up a dot. That's fine. We're going to go for a Puncture Wound, and that's game over. Yeah, he just took off. Lil Ragnaros. He went toe-to-toe with a tier 1 pet and was able to just out-damage him. A power Ore Eater, too. That's quite an accomplishment. Because power Ore Eaters, well, Crusher is a little bit stronger. They have the strongest shell shield in the game, and the shell armor is ridiculously good at reducing damage. It's so good, in fact, that it's kind of overpowered. It's a huge pain in the ass to go against. Ragnaros, though, hit so hard that it didn't really matter too much. He was still able to hit him as hard as if a normal pet was hitting through shell armor, which was pretty nice.